Hello, I'm Lara Kılıçarslan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. We're all curious about our roots, our family history, and the hidden stories written in our DNA. But what happens when the company holding that data goes under? After a massive data breach and many lawsuits, 23andMe has filed for bankruptcy. Now the consumer genetics giant is up for sale, and so is the DNA profiles of over 15 million users.
23andMe filed for bankruptcy and that its CEO, Ann Wojcicki, was resigning. 23andMe is, of course, the DNA testing company. Here is what's actually alarming. Quote, 23andMe's global database has grown into a virtually unprecedented repository of human genetic information that can now be sold in bankruptcy proceedings. That's right, the privacy statement of 23andMe says that, quote, if they are involved in a bankruptcy, merger, acquisition, reorganization, or sale of assets, your personal information may be accessed, sold, or transferred as part of that transaction. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the DNA that you've given them can be scooped up by whoever and used in all sorts of crazy ways. Things like maybe cloning you without your permission. Your DNA could be sold to malicious actors who could then use that DNA and leave it at crime scenes that you were never at. Of course, bioweapons is always a possibility. I mean, okay, those are admittedly kind of crazy examples. Maybe they won't happen. But then there are those mundane use cases that probably will happen. One of which is insurance companies using that DNA data to deny you coverage, which is something they definitely love to do.
California's Attorney General is urging 23andMe users to take action now. If you're among the 15 million affected, officials say you should delete your data, request the destruction of any genetic samples, and revoke any permissions given to third-party researchers.
Here's what you're going to do. Log into your 23andMe account, go to settings, scroll down, and then you will see a button that says delete your data. Then they will email you to confirm your request, which yes, confirmed. And this will get your biological sample destroyed, revoke any consent, and just permanently delete your account.
Deleting your 23andMe account is permanent, but it doesn't mean all your data completely disappears. According to the company's privacy policy, genetic information, date of birth, and gender will be retained indefinitely for legal compliance. Even after deletion, some account details, like your email and records of your deletion request, will still be stored. Imagine accidentally adding the editor of a US publication to a messaging group and then revealing details of military strikes in Yemen. US President Donald Trump's most senior officials just did that.
On March 15th at about 2 p.m., the U.S. began bombing targets in Yemen. That's when most of the world found out that was happening, when the bombing started. There were, of course, some people who knew about it ahead of time because it's their job to know about it, at least several hours before. People like the Defense Secretary, President, Vice President, Secretary of State, etc. Oh, and also the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic knew about it several hours before. The Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plans. This is not satire. Specifically, Pete Hegseth sent it to him. And you might think from that headline that he accidentally texted him, like it was a butt dial situation. He just happened to accidentally send war plans. It was worse than that. It was a signal group that he was added to and no one noticed. Sensitive national security and war plans being shared over Signal in a group that has been confirmed to have included Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Vice President JD Vance, White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, among others. And you know when President Trump found out about all this? Basically like when I did. When a reporter said you have any comments on what happened with this? And Trump's like, this is the first time hearing of it. I can't emphasize enough how serious this is. It's almost as if you shouldn't have hired the ex-Fox News host with the January 6th insurrectionist tattoo starter kit to do the job. This is why the rest of the world laughs at us.
The incident has sparked criticism from both the Republicans and the Democrats. Jeffrey Goldberg, the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, said he was added to a Signal message group that included Vice President JD Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Goldberg claims that he knew about the strikes on the Houthis 2 hours before the bombs were dropped.
You simply cannot treat the airstrike group chat the same way you treat the friends, girlfriends, birthday brunch planning group chat. 'Cause on that group chat, the birthday one, you are going to see some numbers you don't recognize, and that's fine. You're like, oh, look at that area code. I didn't know we knew anyone from Dallas. But if you're on the time will tell if these are war crimes group chat and you see a single number you don't recognize, someone should probably at least be like, hey, there's no shot that that's the editor-in-chief of a major news outlet, is it? And I love that they're using emojis in this chat. They're using the fire emoji, normally reserved for awkwardly flirting when replying to someone's Instagram story, but we learned today you can use it to celebrate a drone strike. And they're doing this all on Signal. They might as well just join Slack like the rest of us. I mean, these are probably planning the invasion of Greenland on Snapchat right now.
Unbelievable. I want you to be really clear that every single one of the individuals on this text chain should have known better. Hegseth, Rubio, Radcliffe, Waltz, these people, Gabbard. Oh, wow, we didn't raise any alarms about how incompetent they all were, did we? No, not at all. They know better. Despite how awful they are and unqualified they are, even they know better. My 15-year-old knows better.
Politicians and the public are shocked that top government discussions were being conducted on Signal, a platform not approved by the US government for information sharing. Two of President Donald Trump's senior security aides, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Radcliffe, appeared before the Senate on Tuesday, where they defended Signal's use. Trump himself downplayed the incident, though he did admit he would have done things differently.
The attack was totally successful. It was, I guess, from what I understand, took place during, and it wasn't classified information. So this was not classified. Now, if it's classified information, it's probably a little bit different. But I always say you have to learn from every experience. I think it was very unfair the way they attacked Michael. He's a good person. The person that was on just happens to be a sleazebag, so maybe that's just coincidence, I don't know. It was up to me, everybody would be sitting in a room together. The room would have solid lead walls and a lead ceiling and a lead floor. But, you know, life doesn't always let you do that. In the meantime, the attack itself that we were talking about and discussing has been an unbelievable success.
Last year, Microsoft introduced its AI-powered security copilot, a tool designed to bring a chatbot into the cybersecurity world. Now they're taking it a step further. They've launched AI agents to help security teams manage the growing number of threats. Starting in July, Microsoft will introduce more safeguards by introducing 6 AI agents to make its tool safer. The company says these AI agents will handle high-volume tasks autonomously while seamlessly integrating with Microsoft's security solutions. AI agents are quickly becoming crucial for companies to offer businesses more advanced AI tools. Earlier this year, Microsoft relaunched its Copilot for businesses, offering both free AI chat and pay-as-you-go AI agents.
AI agents are basically autonomous AI programs that can decide and take their own action autonomously and interact with other apps. You can just tell it what to do and leave your laptop and they will figure out by themselves. It's not automations, it's autonomous. And what's cool with that they already can start now. Claude just released a couple of weeks ago, the big LLM provider, the ChatGPT competitor, they released the new version where the mouse can be controlled by the laptop, and they're talking about now that the new operating systems for laptop will be not for humans, not with screens that we can watch, but actually just built for AI, so we can just speak to the laptop like we don't need a screen, we don't need Windows, we don't need browsers, like this is the future.
Do you remember when memes were something only a select few would get? That was a time when internet trends felt exclusive. Well, fast forward to 2025, and those days are long gone. Those quote-unquote insider jokes are now mainstream. Take something like Brat Summer. It was a fun, fleeting trend, but now it's being used by moms of Facebook. If you remember, it even popped up in Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. This just shows how that secret internet world we once lived in is pretty much over, thanks to algorithms. Social media apps like TikTok, Instagram, and X are no longer just showing us what the people we follow are posting. Instead, they're serving us recommended content based on what they think we will like. We all know that plastics are kinda everywhere, from the clothes we wear to the cutting boards in our kitchens and even cleaning products that we use. And now there's another surprising source, chewing gum. Scientists have discovered that chewing gum could release hundreds, even thousands of microplastics into your saliva as you chew. These tiny particles can then be potentially swallowed. But don't start worrying if that's something you've done in the recent past, because the same scientists say they aren't sure if microplastics are harmful yet. They only know that it's a part of everyday life, and that's exactly what they wanted to study. However, other studies on animals and human cells have shown that microplastics could be harmful, so it's good to be cautious while we wait for more definitive answers.
Studies show that just 1 gram of gum can release up to 600 microplastic particles. Most chewing gums use synthetic polymers, the same stuff found in adhesives and tire rubber. But it's not just synthetic gums. Even natural gums release similar amounts of microplastics, likely from the manufacturing process. The majority of these tiny particles are released within the first 2 minutes of chewing. While the health effects are still being researched, microplastics have been found in various organs. Experts suggest chewing one piece of gum for longer and disposing of it properly to cut down on exposure and environmental pollution. The candy industry and some experts claim the amounts are small and pass through the digestive system harmlessly. But it's something to chew on next time you reach for that piece of gum.
Social media can be a dangerous game. Algorithms can push users toward political and religious extremes, pulling them away from spaces that foster connection and consensus. But one online trend is leading people somewhere else, straight into the great outdoors. It's called straight line missioning, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Participants attempt to cross an entire country on foot, sticking to a perfectly straight path, no matter what obstacles stand in their way. Adventurers scale fences, sprint through backyards, climb mountains, and wade through rivers, all in the name of staying on course.
Hello. So I've got to cross this. Got to do it. I mean, what's the whole point in this trip? Straight line. I can't go round. Come on, don't drown now. You're almost at the end. Tent is soaking. Only a matter of time, wasn't it? Yep, we're going straight through it. Oh, God. Now that's worrying now. Come on, grab onto the side. I think I'm safe now.
That was the man behind it all, Tom Davies, or better known as GeoWizard. His viral videos turned this quirky challenge into a global trend. Friend groups, couples, and even families are taking on the challenge together, pushing their limits and making memories. A wholesome adventure, sure, but not always legal. Many of these so-called missioners are technically trespassing, cutting across private land to keep their paths unbroken.
We've got to go in a straight line. We've got to go in a straight line. We can't. Listen, I know it looks... Let me explain. I know it looks really bad. And we're really sorry. We've got to go in a completely straight line. I understand.
That's surely not for the faint-hearted. And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.